Amanda Waller got mad at me for not talking about her and her specific scenes in her last movie. But we came up with a deal, but she has no idea that I duped her.
Remember, I'm watching. I see everything. I am your consequence.
Welcome everybody, I'm RJ of The Nerdy Brew, and here on this channel we talk TV, movies, and everything in between, all while drinking a cup of coffee. Now if you like one of those things or all of those things, why don't you consider like, subscribing, and hit that notification bell, and becoming a fellow Brewster. So today, fellow Brewsters, we are having a coffee talk review of The Suicide Squad by James Gunn, 2021. And now this movie is like a reboot slash sequel slash redoing of what came before it from the 2016 movie. And James Gunn is totally at the helm, and he's the one that's putting it in the forefront, but it's kind of hard to explain if it's a reboot or if it's a sequel or it's an amalgamation, all of that in between, because you got some of the characters that are coming back from the first movie of Flagg, Harley, Quinn, Captain Boomerang of Jai Courtney, and Amanda Waller. And we see them now carrying over a new team. And so we have this new team of King Shark, Polkadot Man, Idris Elba as Bloodsport, John Cena as the Peacemaker. We have a giant Weasel Man. There's a whole bunch. There's TDK, the Detachable Kid. And there is who else? Who else is new that is part of the team? Whole bunch of other people, right? Michael Roker as Savant, and all of these characters come together because we know Task Force X. We know the premise that they are horrible individuals, criminals, the worst of the worst, probably with metahuman abilities or powers, and they are locked up, incarcerated. Ratcatcher is also a new one, Ratcatcher 2, and they have their sentences, or trying to get their sentences reduced, so they get part of Task Force X, and they're dubbing it the Suicide Squad, knowing that the missions are impossible and you might not make it out. And the thing about this movie, we have James Gunn at the helm, and if you've seen his other movies like Slither or Super, yeah, he's weird, right? He's weird, he's violent, he's gross, and he will take it there with imagery. And he did not hold any punches. He did not have any reservations with this movie. It is definitely a James Gunn movie. And what this movie did for me was become the newer model of the Suicide Squad. So everything that the movie in the 2016 version tried to do, this movie pushed all of that aside. It was like, you know how we got licensed music in this one? Well, we're gonna appropriately add it here. You know how we had people hardly die in the first one? We're gonna properly add it here. Do you know how we tried to shoehorn in camaraderie and character development and growth? We're gonna get rid of that and improve it here. Just like the 2016 version, it was everything that it tried to be, and it just improved on that from there. So we have Idris Elba now, and with Idris Elba, he's like the new substitution analog for Deadshot. But the thing about him, no, I actually think Will Smith and Idris Elba, and I don't mean to compare the movies, but they both elevated this movie or the franchise in a certain way where it had some likability and also some substance to it, and the switching out is both know how to kill. They're very efficient in killing, and not only that, they have daughters. They're single fathers, and they have to reconcile with their children, and that has to be something involved with their character arcs to take from. So as I said, the 2016 version was the predecessor, and this one was the successor, and we don't really even need to address the 2016 one. Oh yeah, and I hated it when it came out as well. But as far as performances and the people that they carried over, you know, so we have Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn, the performance that James Gunn got out of Margot Robbie was way more focused and nuanced, where he was just able to get all the attributes and accents of the character that she is. So she was sincere, and not only sincere, she was damaged, and with that being damaged, she was also crazy. And all of those things culminate into the character, and it was portrayed well. One of my favorite characters, I had two favorite characters throughout this movie, well, actually three, and they're the heart of the story, to bring humanity and sincerity, was Ratcatcher. She's just somebody who happens to be thrown into the circumstances. She didn't have the best circumstances, so she is projected on the team. There was also Polkadot Man, and Polkadot Man is also someone who carries a sense of jadedness and abuse, but he's still at the core someone who is thoughtful, and he's one of the most human characters, and someone who is very charming and adorable, and ferocious and vicious with King Shark. So I enjoyed that character, and he was just another likable character that James Gunn was able to put on, just like he did with Groot. So the character work, Rick Flagg. So for me, I am a genuine fan of Rick Flagg. I enjoy him. I've always had Rick Flagg in every iteration in the comics. I just enjoy Rick Flagg. I feel like he is a man with substance, and a man with strength, and he has a spine. And in both movies, they do him so bad. I don't like how they treat Rick Flagg, and I feel like they need to put respect on Rick Flagg's name. And it just didn't work out well for Rick Flagg, and how he was carried out and portrayed in these films, because he is very much Batman with guns. And that's why he is the one to oversee the team. He's the one to get things done if the team was not able to follow orders well. He's strictly a military man, and if he has to do what he has to do, he's always focused on the mission, and he will always do that. And I just really feel like how they treated him, it was not good. And when I was watching this movie, I was thinking, wow, John Cena would have been a great Rick Flagg. I think that how he carries himself and what he was in the Marine, and this portrayal of what he did with Peacemaker, I felt like they fit the attributes of Rick Flagg, so I can see why he's gonna carry on and get his own show, because he was just able to do that. And I'm liking John Cena the more I see him in movies, and he's doing well, and I appreciate that from James Gunn, that he gets the best performances out of not the best actors, and I'm just gonna be honest, but he allows them to live in their roles, and he allows them to grow and feel like lived in characters. So I don't necessarily mean to compare the 2016 version with the one that we have now that's on HBO Max, but there were just certain things. The movie was a lot more cohesive. The movie had a lot of synergy. The movie was sincere, humanity, heart, charming. There was some moments where everyone had great character building. They had quiet moments where we got to see them interact and build their relationships instead of it being forced and rushed, and now we're here. Because I didn't understand how in the first movie, how Diablo was like, I'm not gonna lose a second family. Like, you just met these dudes in the last 12 hours, my guy. Like, you could like them, but family, that's a tough term. We are not Fast 9 out here. We are not doing that.
But what's real is family.
The movie was violent, brutal, vibrant when it came to the action. The cinematography for it was very visual, very submersive, very visceral. Because it was just all of those things for us to feel it and get involved, and to see the choreography, and you'll see that. And then there was also the humor shifted throughout the movie. It was either quirky, or if it wasn't quirky, it was also light. And if it turned into from light, it turned into very dark, and that's how they carried it with these characters. They had very competent storytelling. It really did. The movie had competent storytelling. It didn't have any little laws. The movie, laws, like it didn't law down. The movie was not bad. I felt like it had very heartwarming these character beats. It was bloody. It had the deaths that a Suicide Squad would go through. Two of the deaths in the movie do affect me. I'm pretty upset about those certain deaths. But overall, the movie was great, and I give it a Nerdy Brew grade of a 8.9. Because it's pretty good. It's pretty great. And I think it's probably one of the best DCEU movies, probably from this new continuity that we have. Who's your favorite character in the Suicide Squad? I would love to know your thoughts. Please put a spoiler tag if you feel like discussing anything. So if we got people scrolling, they won't be too spoiled if they haven't seen the movie. I would love to know your thoughts. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your grades, your thoughts, your favorite characters. And thank you for sitting down and having this cup of coffee with me. And I'm gonna bring this video to an end. And I want you to be you, do you, see the bigger picture. Have a fantastic day because you deserve it. This is that channel. Peace.